Good afternoon. My name is Moritz von Plate. Now that's the German pronunciation. The American pronunciation would be Moritz von Plate. I'm the CEO of Cassantec. By the way, CEO of a small company. If you want to have a big title, go to a small company. It's extremely easy. You can give yourself a title. So that's why I joined Cassantec. There's also another reason. The company is quite cool. So our slogan is, we know when machines fail. What does that mean specifically? Imagine you're the guy standing in front of equipment and need to operate that equipment. You would want to know something about that equipment's future. You know, when is it going to break? When is it going to develop which malfunction and so on? To this day, these guys are scratching their heads. They're using their own experience. They're using vendor recommendations, not knowing that the vendor is standing there scratching his head. So there is a lot of uncertainty around the future on equipment. I'm German, but okay. A slight American braggadocious thing is, we found the Holy Grail. We answer that one question. So skip that really quickly before you boo me off the stage here. This is how this is then applied. This is probably the most important picture I've ever made. We are that guy. Where's the pointer? We are that guy. We're Mr. Spock. Sorry. Do you know Star Trek? Okay, most people nod. Okay, so we are Mr. Spock, who support all the Captain Kirks out there who operate equipment, who are the guys who are scratching their heads. Just imagine Star Trek without Mr. Spock, just Captain Kirk. The story would be really boring. Nobody would know it. What is fun in the story is the combination of this ingenuity, the intuition, the intelligence of Captain Kirk, combined with the analytical prowess of Mr. Spock. That strength combined leads to, in the story of Star Trek, successful stories. In Cassantec and in the real world, a much big improvement potential across a range of topics. I'm listing a few down here. The obvious one is maintenance. Using this foresight to optimize your maintenance, to go away from preventive cycles or time-based cycles to condition-based maintenance. Once you've got that under control, you can improve your production planning as well. That leads to huge financial levers, and this is all digitalization. What people typically forget in digitalization is the human. So this helps with knowledge management. You know, Captain Kirk grows older, he goes into retirement and takes his knowledge with him. That's bad. Through analytics, through Mr. Spock, you can retain that knowledge and make it available for others. So this is how our Mr. Spock looks like. Now, I'm from Berlin. In Berlin, you know, young, hip startup people would say, Jesus, this is horrible. This is ugly. Yes, it is ugly. But this is exactly how our customers want it. So this is actually designed for customer experience. What we actually do is prognosticate in a probability. This pointer isn't that great, so I show it like this. On a probability scale into the future, when can you expect with which malfunction, with which probability? Now, this is a relatively forward-thinking thing. That's why I demand from you creative thinking. What I'm showing you here is a hydro turbine. I suppose you're not operating any hydro turbines, but what you could also see here is a pebble crusher, a sag mill, a haul truck, a pulley system, anything related to mining. Actually, we have experience from mining. We are working with Eurasian Resources Group on one of their copper mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We're working together with WearCheck on that. WearCheck is a large mining services company, and we have a few relevant leads in Central Asia, Australia, Brazil, pretty much based on that. It's only leads, we're a startup, but at least, I mean, I'm not talking about something we want to do, I'm talking about something we're actually doing. Now, last point, everybody here is going to say, oh, come on, again, one of those guys that predict things. Everybody is doing that nowadays. Yes, we make a point out of saying we are prognostic, not predictive. Predictive analytics is early warnings. It's a similarity-based model where you compare your actual behavior against the expected. And if there is a deviation, you get an anomaly warning. That's great because it gives you early warnings. It tells you, beware, something is going to happen. But then Captain Kirk is going to say, but when? is the enterprise still going to make it to the next star? Well, that when is what Cassantec addresses. We do that with the same data with different methodologies. Now, I'm not going to go into the methodologies, but I've been given a few vouchers for beverages. So whoever is thirsty, come by my booth. I'll give you a beverage and I'll talk to you about that. Quickly, that's how I look like. That's the guy who came up with the whole thing. He's Frank Kirschnick. He's based in Zurich. I'm based in Berlin. We have an office also in Cleveland in the US. That's for a very simple reason. We've actually, this is not a joke what I'm telling you now. Customers in the US have asked Switzerland and confused that with Swaziland. Ain't that in Africa? And got totally confused. So we opened an office in the good old Rust Belt, and so we have some street credibility in the US as well. That's it. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, and the World Cup is coming up, so I have to kiss the logo. Any questions?
Can you pronostic who is going to win the World Cup?
Oh, Germany, of course. That's easy.
Okay, thank you, Boris.
Thank you.